If you're shopping in El Cerrito, you want to know what you can get under $800,000. I can already warn you, it's going to be tough. So it'd be fun to start out with the inside of a house, and I want you to guess the price. This house is a little bit over 1,200 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's obvious from the video it needs some cosmetic upgrades and some more serious upgrades, like replacing all the windows because these are single pane. And it looks like this house is also close to the BART. These windows need to be replaced too. It's pretty sizable and looks gently lived in. The kitchen needs to be updated. So what'd you guess? This house is listed for $750,000. It sold for $800,000 for cash. As predicted, it went to someone who could afford to renovate it and will likely put it back on the market later on. And what you should know about the Bay Area pricing strategy, especially in the East Bay, we do not transparently price. Just because something's listed for $750,000 doesn't mean it'll sell for that. So let's take a look at some other homes that actually sold for around $800,000 in El Cerrito. This particular property I'm focusing in on was roughly 1,200 square feet. It sold for $795,000, and this was back in September when the market hadn't gotten completely nuts. In this neighborhood, you can see there are a lot of 1930s, 40s California bungalows. A lot of them are 2-bedroom, 1-baths. This is mostly residential. There aren't a lot of multifamily residential in this particular area. The downside is that you can hear the BART. Now we're gonna go a couple blocks away from San Pablo. I'm over here on Everett. I'm a little bit further away from the BART and the BART noise. There's a home in this neighborhood that recently sold for a little bit over $800,000. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and it was only 700 square feet. So you definitely compromise square footage for location. So I'm in another part of El Cerrito. I'm gonna show you another home that's on market right now. It's close to that El Cerrito BART, not the Del Norte BART. So there are 2 BART stations in El Cerrito. This one's El Cerrito Plaza. And this home is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's less than 800 square feet. It's priced around $750,000, but it'll likely go for more than that. It looks like there might be some bonus space in the downstairs. But again, what I described before is pretty much what you're going to get for under $800,000 or almost maybe up to $815,000 in today's market. 2021, there's still so little inventory on the market and so many more buyers because of shelter in place. It makes it more competitive and that drives prices up, in addition to low interest rates. But I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you some of the other homes in this neighborhood. There's new construction. People are really friendly here. People wave at me all the time. That doesn't happen necessarily in Oakland. There's new construction right next door. There's a house on the corner that I'll show you that looks like it's been renovated recently. Some of these homes looks like they've been expanded. Got some older craftsman homes. And then here on the corner, looks like you have homes that are much larger than 800 square feet from the outside. So I'm again in a neighborhood that's close to El Cerrito Plaza, in the flats, not in the hills. I'm going to show you a property right here that it's a little bit different from the ones I've shown you so far. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It was listed at $725,000, so I'll flip the camera around and show you. It's also staged and updated on the inside. You can tell it has fresh paint. Looks like the windows are newer as well. I'm not going to go inside for the sake of privacy of the new owners. The yard's landscaped. Again, this is under 1,000 square feet. Now, I was pleasantly surprised by the sold price of this home. It went for $750,000, which in today's market, and I'm talking about January 2021, post-holidays, I don't think that would fly. So things have changed really rapidly over the holidays. It's a lot more competitive. For any home that's on the market, inventory is still historically low. Here's some other homes in the neighborhood. There are a couple of multifamilies on this street, like that one, which very well could have been a factor in the sales price of this home. So I'm running out of daylight, but one thing I wanted to show you is I'm on the other side of the plaza, on the other side of San Pablo, and I'll put a map up here to show you as well. There was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,200 square feet that sold for under $800,000 this year in May, but one of the reasons for that is that it's nestled between a lot of multifamily residences here. This street, as you can see, is very busy, and you're right across a high traffic area. It's the El Cerrito Plaza. So that's one justification for the lower price point if you're willing to live on a busier street and also on this side of San Pablo Avenue. There are some quieter nooks. There was a home that was smaller, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, sort of a cosmetic fixer, that sold for $800,000
a month later. So pricing can vary based on location, block to block, just like with any city. To correct myself, because the home that sold within months of the last one I showed you was actually a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, but it borders Albany Hill. It's at the end of a cul-de-sac, and there might be some square footage there that's unaccounted for. And you can tell this neighborhood is much more quiet than Carlson Boulevard, where we just were. It borders Albany Hill and these walkways, this park, and it's much more peaceful. So that's another reason the price point for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath would be higher than a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, much more square footage on a busy street right across from El Cerrito Plaza. The last thing I want to note about living on the other side of San Pablo, I'll show you on a map the border of El Cerrito and Richmond. If you want to be close to El Cerrito without living in El Cerrito proper, the Richmond Annex and parts of Richmond share borders on multiple sides with El Cerrito. So there's a portion of Richmond that's encased in El Cerrito, or surrounded by El Cerrito on multiple sides. And the price points differ drastically. The quality of the schools is different, but you can get into a home for a better price. So I'm just going to focus on the areas on the borders here, and I ran a search for only 2 1s in Richmond and El Cerrito in the last 90 days, and you can see there were only 3 on the market in El Cerrito, and those 2-bedroom, 1-bath under 1,000 square feet went for over 900. So for Richmond, there's a lot more inventory, and there are some homes that sold, looks like even up to 1,400 square feet, that were $641. Some were higher in price, $875. There was one that went for $815, and I'll show you on the map really quickly where those higher priced Richmond units were. So, like I said, there were only 3 in El Cerrito, 1 on Central, 1 over here above the El Cerrito Plaza BART, but further up, away from the noise, on closer to Calusa. And then with Richmond, a lower priced unit here on the edge, needed some work. This one was a surprise, and part of the reason it sold for what it did had to do with the exterior. Looks like it's a specialty type of wood, and the staging and design is amazing. The lot was relatively big. The house was pretty small though. The annex homes, some of them have views of the bay, and that can increase the value. This yard's amazing, as is the view. So that's one reason that one went for higher. Same thing with this one on Santa Clara that's in Richmond and the Richmond Annex. People find value too. It's a special type of property and has great views and is close to the Del Norte BART. So the other border that I want to talk about between Richmond and El Cerrito is the East Richmond Heights versus El Cerrito border. So what marks El Cerrito's border is Little Tree Montessori, and there's a part over here that I can't point out right now, but Key Boulevard at some point becomes Richmond. But you can see just for 2 1s, you're close to 927 in the hills of El Cerrito, and then in the Richmond Heights, East Richmond Heights, 735. So there is a difference. So you can save a couple $100,000, but typically by choosing Richmond over El Cerrito, but the schools aren't as highly rated generally. So in summary, for homes in the past 6 months that sold under 800 grand, it looks like the majority of them are 2-bedroom, 1-baths or 1-bedroom, 1-baths. And the ones that are larger than 1,000 square feet are likely fixers. There were 4-5 likely that sold with either hard money or cash, which means that they were fixers. And the other ones that were sold with conventional loans, a lot of them under 800 grand were sold before January, February of this year. The market has changed, as I said before, post-holiday season. So those who got in the fall, I consider them a little bit lucky. So looking at the map, we've already looked at a few of these locations, like the $800,000 one, that was the 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and the 525, that was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, right on the border, on a busy street. The 750 was the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, back in the fall. This is a fixer. This is actually one listing here, and it was a major fixer. That's why it went for under 800 grand.
These other ones, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, under 1,000 square feet. The one that went for $670, it's on the Richmond border on that side of San Pablo. That's why it sold for that price. And these other ones, if they were in the hills, major fixer. These ones that are on the Richmond El Cerrito border, the $800,000 one was a major fixer. $675 was a cosmetic fixer. So these all weren't necessarily what we call turnkey.
In 2021, 2020,
What you can get in El Cerrito is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, less than 1,000 square feet in the flats.
so there's a difference between the area that's higher elevation and the areas that are closer to San Pablo Avenue and the El Cerrito BART.